Good evening, children. Good evening. Okay, so first of all, I welcome back all of you to a wonderful year full of learning. Okay, how are you all?
Fine, ma'am.
It's very happy to see all of you after a long holidays. Okay, so this year also I need your cooperation. I think you are hardly prepared for your periodic test exam that's coming on Saturday, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so from physics only the first chapter you have for the periodic test, that is light reflection and refraction. So try to practice out the numericals that we were discussing in the class. Okay, and if you have any doubt you can contact me. Okay, no problem. So students, in the last class, that is the days that before the holidays, we were discussing about dispersion, right? Did anyone go through the topics that we were discussing in the last class, the second chapter? Yes? Anyone? Do you remember the topics that we were discussing in the last class? We were starting the new chapter, the human eye and the colorful world. I will just recall the points that we were discussing in the second chapter, and after that I am moving to the next topic. So in the second chapter, that is a human eye and colorful world, first of all we were discussing about the human eye. Did you remember the definition for human eye? What do you mean by human eye?
It is an organ which provides a sensation of vision.
Yes, very good. It's a most sensitive sense organ which is enables the sensation of vision. And then we are discussing the different parts of eye. So what are the different parts of eye? Just recapitulate all the parts of the human eye. Ah, yes, very good. Cornea,
Iris,
iris,
retina,
retina is there, okay.
Crystalline lens.
Ah, yes, very good. Crystalline lens, then
ciliary muscles,
ciliary muscles, good.
optic fibers,
Optic fibers, optic nerve, not optic,
nerve,
optic nerve, okay, all right. Then, ah, yes, pupil, okay, very good, pupil. Yes, good. Two more parts are there,
aqueous
just like, ah, yes, aqueous humor and its companion.
Rectum.
Yes, aqueous humor and vitreous humor. Did you remember forgot about the vitreous humor? It is due to the vitreous humor you get a very good shape to your eye. So because vitreous humor is a jelly-like substance that gives shape to your eye. And what is the function of aqueous humor? What is the function of aqueous humor? Aqueous humor is also a jelly-like substance which maintains the pressure balance of the eye. So that is the difference between aqueous humor and vitreous humor. Both are jelly-like substance or a liquid-like substance, but aqueous humor is maintains the pressure balance of the eye, but in the case of vitreous humor it gives shape to the human eye. Okay, that's why your human eyes looks different. Some of them have very short eyes, some of them have very large eyes, long eyes. It is due to the presence of the vitreous humor. And in the case of human eye, where did you get the image? In which position you get the image?
the retina,
Yes, very good. It is at the retina. So just like gallery of our phone, the retina is act as a gallery of our human eye. Where did the images get stored, or the image is formed in the retina? Okay, all right. Anyway, I am happy because all of you are responding well and you are remembering all the points that we were discussing in the last class. And then we were discussing about power of accommodation. Did you remember the power of accommodation?
yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by power of accommodation then?
The distance will
Yes, the power of accommodation means it is the ability. It is the ability of the human eye to control the focal length with the help of ciliary muscles. And along with that of power of accommodation, we were discussing the two terms, that is least distance of distinct vision, or the near point of eye, and the far point of eye. So what is the near point of eye of a normal person?
25 meters,
Yes, it is 25 centimeter, not meter, centimeter, 25 centimeter. Then Adidev was smiling there. I think he's chat with his friends, right?
yeah, ma'am.
Okay, Adidev, can you say what is about the far point of eye? Near point is 25 centimeter. Then can you guess what about the far point of human eye?
Infinity.
Yes, it is between 25 centimeter and infinity. Then after that, yes. And after that we were discussing about the defects that can be causes to human eye. So what are the defects that cause to human eye? Nirubama? Yes, one is myopia, alright. Nirubama, can you say the second defect that can be caused to? Yes, long sight. The myopia is also known as short sight, and the second one is long sight. It is otherwise known as hypermetropia. And the third defect, Rifa, can you recall the third defect of human eye? Yes, all of you? Yes, very good. It is presbyopia. So there can be three defects that can be causes to human eye. That is myopia. Myopia is also known as short sight. The second one is hypermetropia. It is also known as long sight. And the third one is presbyopia. So unfortunately there is no other name for presbyopia. You study as it is. Okay. And students, how we can correct a myopia? How we can correct the defect of myopia? Using which lens? Yes, very good, Adidev. It can be corrected with the help of concave lens. Very good. Then Johan, can you say how we can correct hypermetropia? Yes.
With convex lens.
Yes, very good. With the help of convex lens. Then Rose, how we can correct presbyopia then?
Bifocal lenses.
Yes, by using the bifocal length. Because in the case of presbyopia, just like some kind of arts, if we buy one, we get two free. Just like that, if a person who defected or affected with this presbyopia, what happens? Automatically, the two defects are caused, that is myopia and hypermetropia. So, the person who is affected with myopia, presbyopia, both the defects of myopia and hypermetropia is present. So, in order to correct this presbyopia, we need to use the lens, that is a bifocal lens. The upper portion of the lens is made with the concave and the lower portion is made with the convex. So, that about the defects of eye. Then after that we were discussing about the angle of the prism. So, when we are discussing about angle of the prism, we introduce some terminologies like angle of incidence, angle of refraction, and also the one more term is the angle of emergence. So, you just study to draw the diagram and all these terminologies, and two more terminologies we were discussing about the angle of the prism. Angle of the prism is represented by A and angle of deviation. After that we were discussing about dispersion. Do you remember what you mean by dispersion? Yes, Muhammad Aman, can you recall what you mean by dispersion? Just to try to remember, no problem. If you are not remembering, no problem, we can discuss it once again, that's all. Aman, did you remember what you mean by dispersion?
No.
Yes, okay, no problem. Arjun? Okay, all right. So, today we can discuss about dispersion. Again, we can start the dispersion. So, I hope that all of you are probably visiting or seeing, observing the Byju's Learning App ad, right? When you are opening any video, the ad of the Byju's Learning App is observed. That is, when a light is entering to a prism, it is split up into how many colors? 7 colors. That is what is known as dispersion. Okay. So, what do you mean by prism? Before that, what do you mean by prism? What do you mean by prism? Prism is an optical material. Okay, it is an optical transparent material is known as prism. So, I will share the screen, then it is more clear. Okay. So, first of all, you just write the definition for prism. Prism is an optical element which is transparent with flat polished surfaces that refract light. Okay, so it is an optical element which is transparent in nature. Okay, it is made up of glass. In physics lab we are using prism, and it is a material that is made up of glass. And in mathematical labs you can also see this prism, but it is made up of another kind of material like plastics, wood, etc. But in physics lab normally we are using this glass prism which is transparent in nature. Okay, so prism is an optical element which is transparent with flat polished surfaces that refract light. It has 2 triangular faces and 3 rectangular faces. So a prism consisting of 2 triangular faces and 3 rectangular faces. A prism consists of 2 triangular faces. One is here and other is in the back. Since it is an 3-dimensional image, I can figure out it here. Okay, so you just imagine. So one triangular face is this. So similar to that, the other side also, here also we have a triangular face. Okay, and it consisting of 3 rectangular faces. One is here, similarly another one is here, and one is in the base. So this is about the shape of a prism. So a prism consisting of 2 triangular faces and 3 rectangular faces. Is it clear? Okay. Now we can explain what you mean by dispersion then. So what do you mean by dispersion? So actually the dispersion means, I will show a beautiful tool. I can use a beautiful tool here, then it is more clear. Okay, so I will show the what happens actually in the dispersion. You just observe here. So we are going to do this dispersion on this screen. You just observe here. So once again I will explain what you mean by dispersion. Dispersion is nothing. It is the splitting of white light into 7 colors when it is enters through a prism. When it is passes through a prism, the white light is gets split up into 7 colors. That is what is actually happens. So all of you just observe here. Here we are consider a prism, and I am going to pass a white light through this prism. Then you observe what happens. Is it clear? Is it visible? I hope it is visible. Okay, okay, all right. So here what happens? When a white light is passing through this prism, then what happens? When it is enters into the prism, it is undergoes dispersion. It undergoes dispersion, and what happens? It is split up into 7 colors. That is, the white light is split up into 7 colors. So this is what is known as dispersion. This is what is known as dispersion. So dispersion is nothing. It is the splitting of white light into 7 colors. Okay. So the light that is entering through the prism is nothing. It is our white light. Okay. This is the white light, and this white light is splits into 7 colors. This is a white light. Whenever this white light is enters into a prism, what happens? It split up into 7 colors, and the band of 7 colors that we are obtained here after this dispersion is known as spectrum. This is known as spectrum. So what do you mean by spectrum? It is the band of 7 colors that we obtained after the dispersion is known as spectrum. Okay, so I will show the slide, then it is more clear to you. So here we are discussing about dispersion. Here you can see the definition of dispersion. What do you mean by dispersion? Dispersion means the splitting of white light into 7 colors, 7 constituent colors when it is passed through the prism. So first of all we are discussing what you mean by prism. Prism is nothing. It is a transparent optical material medium with flat surfaces. It consisting of 2 triangular end faces and 3 rectangular faces. And the splitting of white light happens when it enters through a prism. Okay. So normally this is our white light. When this white light is enter into a prism, it's split into 7 colors. This is what is known as dispersion. Have you get an idea about dispersion? Okay. Can I say the slide? All of you please copy down this dispersion, the definition for dispersion. After that we can discuss about what about the spectrum. What do you mean by spectrum? So this is an experiment. It was conducted by Sir Isaac Newton. So who is conduct this experiment? Sir Isaac Newton. Are you there? All of you are remaining silent, that's why I am asking. Okay, alright. So it's an experiment that was conducted by Sir Isaac Newton, and he observed that when a white light is passing through a prism, it is split up into 7 colors. And he called this phenomenon as dispersion. And from this experiment, he concluded that the white light is comprised of how many colors? How many colors are there in a white light?
7 colors.
Yes, very good. From this experiment, he concluded that the white light is comprised of 7 different colors. But we are only seeing the one color, that is white light. Okay, so actually this white light is comprised of 7 colors. Okay, now we can discuss the next topic. So these are the different colors that is present in a white light. The white light beam passes through a prism. It is split up into 7 colors like violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. So these are the 7 colors. Normally we can call it as VIBGYOR. So there are 7 colors are there in the white light. Then we are going to discuss about the next topic, that is spectrum. What do you mean by spectrum? What do you mean by spectrum? It is a band of colors which is dispersed from Yes, ask. Is it Rizwan? You can ask now, no problem. What is your doubt? Rizwan, I can hear. Yes. Okay, all right. The slide shows that the white light is comprised of 7 different colors like violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. Okay. Now we are discussing about what you mean by spectrum. It is nothing. You are just in right. What are the different colors that is present in a white light? White light is consisting of 7 colors, or in short form we can write it is VIBGYOR. VIBGYOR. V for violet, I indigo, B blue, G green, Y yellow, O orange and R for red. Okay. Now we are discussing about spectrum. What do you mean by spectrum? So spectrum is nothing. It is the band of colors which is dispersed from the light entering in a glass prism is called spectrum. spectrum. Okay, that is the band of colors that we are obtained after the dispersion phenomena. After the dispersion phenomena, we get 7 colors. That 7 colors all together known as spectrum. Okay, so what do you mean by spectrum? It is the band of colors which is dispersed from light entering in glass prism is called spectrum. Yes? So here we were discussing about dispersion and spectrum. Can I change the slide now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So the band of colors that we are obtained after the dispersion phenomena is known as spectrum. Now once again I will show the slide of this dispersion. Students, you just listen here or observe here. What all you think? Does all the light rays are get refracted in the same manner? Does it is refracted or it is split up or it is dispersed to the same distance? What do you think? Does all the light rays are dispersed into same distance or it is deviates the same distance? Here you can see the red is here, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. 7 different colors are present. And which light is deviate most? Which light is deviates most from the prism? Yes. Try to find out which. Yes, very good. Violet. Out of these 7 colors, the light with violet color, the violet color is deviate most. And which is deviate the least? Which is deviates the least? Yes. If the violet is deviate the most, then is it necessary to think this much? Which color or which light is deviates less?
Red.
Red. And do you know the reason why? Why this takes place like this? Why all the colors are deviates in a same manner? Why this difference is occurs? Do you know the reason?
Different wavelength.
Yes, very good. It is because the different colors have different wavelength. And the red color is with a more wavelength. And violet is a color with less wavelength or least wavelength. Okay. So here the lights are deviates differently because of their wavelength. Here different light possess different wavelength such that the red light is possess more wavelength and violet is possess less wavelength. So the light or the color with less wavelength is deviates the more and the light or the color with more wavelength is deviates less. Is it clear? So now we can show what is the reason for this dispersion phenomena. So what is the reason behind the dispersion of light? What is the reason? The different colors travels with a different speed. By the different speed we means that the different wavelength in the glass prism. In this way different colors undergoes different angles. It is bends in different angles. And the violet light is with a less wavelength. It is bends the most and the red light with more wavelength is bends the least. So each color emerged out independently with a different angle, thus producing the spectrum of light. So you can expect this question from this chapter, why the dispersion is occurs. So reason behind the dispersion it is because, or you can say sometimes the question asked like this, a prism will be given and a white light is pointing out in the prism and they are marked it as X and Y and ask you to identify the points X and Y. Okay. After copy down these notebooks, I will explain the pattern of question that can be asked from this portion. So first of all, you just copy down what is the reason behind the dispersion of light. What is the reason behind the dispersion of light? It is because the light, different colors or different light is possess different wavelength when it is passing through a prism. And out of the 7 colors, the violet is a color with less wavelength which bends the most. And what about the red? Red light is with the more wavelength and it is bends the least. So this is the reason behind the dispersion phenomenon. Is it clear? Yes, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Here we were discussing about dispersion and what do you mean by spectrum and what is the reason behind dispersion. All these topics are connected. So when you are discussing about dispersion, you must study the definition of dispersion and what you mean by spectrum and why this dispersion is happens. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can we move to the next topic? Who is introduced this phenomenon of dispersion? Who carried out this experiment? Which scientist? Yes, very good. It is carried out by Sir Isaac Newton and he concluded from the experiment, he concluded that the white light is comprised of 7 colors. Okay, and the band of colors that we are obtained after this dispersion phenomenon is known as spectrum. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Now, once again I will explain the experiment that was conducted by Sir Isaac Newton. So what he is actually doing that he considered the 2 prism and one he kept upward, one prism is kept vertically upwards and he take another prism and kept it is vertically downwards, that is exactly in the inverted position. Okay, this is the experiment that was conducted by Sir Isaac Newton. He considered 2 identical prisms. One is kept vertically upward and other is vertically downward. And what he do? He passes a beam of light through the first prism. He passes a beam of white light through a first prism. Normally what happens when a white light is enters into a prism, what happens? Yes? Unmute and say, when a white light is entered into a prism, which phenomenon is? Yes? Which? Yes, very good. Dispersion is occurs. That is, this white light is gets split up into 7 colors, right? It is split up into 7 colors. Okay. And what he do? He allow these 7 colors to pass us through the next prism, that is the second prism. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more light. Okay. So whenever a beam of white light is passing through the first prism, it undergoes the dispersion. So it is split up into 7 colors. Then what he do? He passes the 7 colors through the second prism. Then he observed that after this dispersion, he got the white light back. Okay. After passing through the second prism, what happens? Again he got the white light back on the screen. He placed a screen here and in this screen he back the white light. Only the white light is got back. So this is the experiment that was conducted by Sir Isaac Newton. So that is what is we are going to discuss next. Newton's experiment. Actually Newton do this experiment in order to prove that the white light is comprised of 7 colors. For that he is passing the white light through the first prism. He is considering 2 identical prism and pass the white light through the first prism. It undergoes dispersion. So the white light is split up into 7 colors and he allowed these 7 colors to passing through the second prism, which is kept in inverted position. After that he got the white light back. he got the white light back. So this is what is the dispersion phenomenon or the Newton's experiment, the experiment conducted by Sir Isaac Newton. So here he got the white light back after the dispersion from the second prism. Is it clear? So this is the color components in sunlight. Isaac Newton took two identical prisms. He placed one vertically upward and second vertically downward, such that the light emitting from one will fall on the second prism. So Newton allowed a beam of sunlight, that is a white beam, to fall on the first prism. So he got 7 different colors, that is white beam split up into different colors. These colors are falls on the second prism, and thus he got a beam of white again. So based on this experiment, he concluded that the sunlight is made up of 7 colors. So based on that, in lower classes, I hope that you have studied an experiment. That is what is known as Newton's ring. Have you ever heard about this term, Newton's ring? Have you heard Newton's ring? Actually, it's very easy to construct. You just try to construct the Newton's ring. You take a circular board or a CD, okay, and divide the circular board into 7 parts, okay, just like that. I will show here. Take a circular disc or a CD. Take a circular disc and divide into 7 parts. Now how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more part is there. And mark it with the VIBGYOR: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. And what you want to do? You just rotate this circular disc. Okay. Whenever you just rotate this circular disc, you get the white light. You cannot separately see in all these individual colors. Instead of that, you get the white light. That is what is the experiment conducted by Sir Isaac Newton. Okay. So this is the Newton's experiment. This is what is the Newton's experiment. I hope it is clear, right? Say yes or no. So in the question paper you can see that what you observe in the question paper, right? For example, they will provide a prism, okay, and a white light is passing through a prism, and they will point out only 2 points, here X and here Y. And the first question is this. First question is this. Mark the point X and Y. Mark the colors in X and Y. What are the colors present in X and Y? Can you identify it? Yes, it's an assessment section. Which are the? Yes, X represents? Yes, red, very good. X represents red. And what about the color present in Y?
Violet.
Violet, very good. Which color possesses more wavelength?
Red.
Red. And which is deviates the most or bend the most?
Violet.
Violet. Why the violet is deviate most?
Less wavelength.
Yes, very good. Because it consisting of less wavelength. Is it clear? Clear? So this is about the Newton's experiment. And Sir Isaac Newton proved that the white light is comprised of 7 different colors, and the phenomenon that he introduced is known as dispersion. That is the splitting of white light into 7 colors. And the band of colors that is obtained after this dispersion phenomenon is known as spectrum. Okay. The band of colors that are obtained after this dispersion phenomenon is known as spectrum. Is it clear? And what of the practical application of dispersion is rainbow. Have you seen rainbow? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And all of you please switch on your video. Yes, all right. And when you can see the rainbow, all the time when you are observing the sky, you can find the rainbow?
No.
When you find it?
After rain.
Yes, after the rainbow is visible, right? And students, do you know how this rainbow is formed? How this rainbow is formed? So that is what we are going to discuss next. Okay, so the rainbow is formed. The first and foremost answer is due to the dispersion phenomenon. So how the rainbow is formed? Rainbow is formed by dispersion phenomena. So we can discuss the formation of rainbow next. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about rainbow. Rainbow is also comprised of 7 colors. Already we are studying in the lower classes. Now we are going to discuss about how this rainbow is formed and what is the role of physics. Okay. So here we know that the dispersion means the splitting of white light into 7 colors, right? The dispersion, what do you mean by dispersion? Prajot, can you say the definition for dispersion? Yes, it is the splitting of white light into 7 colors. When it happens? Yes, very good. When it is passing through prism. And now here I am saying that the rainbow is formed due to dispersion. So, students, how it happens? Does any kind of prism is present in the sky?
No.
Then how the rainbow is formed as a result of dispersion? Yes. Yes, you are near the answer. Yes, Savio.
Passes through water.
Yes, very good. Here, the water droplets that is present in the atmosphere is act as a prism. Okay, so there is no artificial prism. We are not constructed in the sky. Instead of that, some water droplets are present in atmosphere, and this water droplets is acting as a prism. Okay, the water droplets is acting as a prism. And we know that these water droplets are present in the atmosphere after rain. After rain, some water droplets are present. Then what happens? Whenever the light is passing through these water droplets, normally what happens? Refraction takes place. Actually, the rainbow is formed due to the combined effect of refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection. So, if you get a question, how the rainbow is formed, you must write the first answer. The rainbow is formed. Here you can write the formation of rainbow occurs due to 3 reasons. The first one is refraction. The second one is dispersion. And the third one is total internal reflection. Total internal reflection. Okay. So these are the 3 things combined together to form the rainbow. So refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection combined together to form the rainbow. Now we can discuss it one by one how it occurs in the formation of rainbow. Okay. So out of these 3 terms, we know the first 2 terms now. The total internal reflection is a new term. It is nothing, it is the reflection itself. But inside the rainbow, the reflection takes place internally, that is inside the water droplets. That is why we are calling it as total internal reflection. So the rainbow is formed as a result of the combined effect of these 3 phenomena, that is refraction, dispersion, and total internal reflection, which is result the formation of rainbow. Okay, now we can explain how it happens. So, assumes that we are consider the water in the form of a spherical drop. It's a spherical drop. Okay. Then, this is our water droplet. You don't underestimate like an egg like that. It is our water droplet. Okay. You just assume our water droplet is in the form of a sphere. Now what happens? A white light is enter into this water droplet. Okay. A light is enter into this droplet. Okay, here a light is enter into this water droplet. Normally what happens? Here the white light is enter from one medium to another medium. What is normally happens here? When a ray of light, yes, very good, very good. Because when a ray of light is entering from one medium to another medium, refraction is takes place, right? The same thing is happens here. When a white light is enters from air to water droplets, the first thing is happens, that is nothing, it is our refraction. The refraction is takes place. So the first thing is happens here, it is refraction. Okay. At the same time, whenever this light ray is enter into a water droplets, here the light is enter into a transparent material medium like a glass prism. What is the second phenomenon is takes place here inside the water droplets? Dispersion is takes place. Dispersion is occurs. Okay. So first the refraction is takes place whenever the white light is enters from air to water droplets. Since it is enters from one medium to another medium, it is undergoes refraction. And at the same time, when it is enter into the water droplets, what happens? It is split up into 7 colors because it is enters into a transparent material medium. It undergoes a split up into 7 colors. That is, the dispersion is takes place. That is, these colors is split up into 7 colors. It is split up into 7 colors inside this water droplets. Okay, and these 7 colors, it is passes inside the water droplets. When it is reaches the boundary, of the water droplets, what happens? It is reflected. It is reflected internally. It undergoes reflection internally, that is inside the water droplets. So whenever these 7 rays get strikes on the boundary of the water droplets, what happens to this water droplets? It is reflected internally, and that process is known as total internal reflection. So the dispersed light, when it is strikes on the boundary of the water droplets, it gets reflected internally, and that is known as total internal reflection. Total internal reflection. So it is reflected back. When this dispersed light strikes on the boundary of, this is the boundary. When it is strikes on the boundary of the water droplets, it gets reflected. It's reflected back. And how it is reflected? It is reflected inside of the water droplets. That is through internally. And that is what is known as total internal reflection. And when it is reaches here, again what happens? Again this ray of light is entering from one medium to another medium. So again it is undergoes one more refraction. That is what is actually happens in the formation of rainbow. Okay, I will show the explanation slide, then it is more clear. The formation of rainbow. So rainbow is formed as a result of a combined effect of refraction, dispersion and total internal reflection of light. So it is due to the combined effect of refraction. Instead of this reflection, you must write total internal reflection, because here the reflection is takes place internally, that is inside of the water molecule is takes place. So you must write total internal reflection. Total internal reflection. So it is due to the combined effect of refraction, total internal reflection and dispersion of white light. And in the case of the formation of rainbow, there is no artificial prism that we are not placed inside the sky. So here a tiny water droplet is act as a small prism. Here the tiny water droplet is act as a small prism. And whenever the light is incident or it is falls on a tiny droplet, first it get refracted inside the droplet, because here the white light is enters from one medium to another medium, so it undergoes a refraction. And when it is traveling inside through the droplet, the light beam undergoes a dispersion, because the light beam is enters into the prism. So since it is enters into a transparent material medium, it undergoes the dispersion, that is the splitting of the white light takes place. And the dispersed light get reflected back at the boundary of the droplet due to the total internal reflection. So these are the three phenomena that takes place, and the combined effect of these three phenomena is result the formation of rainbow. So when it is emerged out, the droplet again undergoes the refraction, and the combined effect of infinite number of such droplets produces the rainbow in the sky. So you must copy down this note, because it's a sure question all the days you are asking for the examination, how the rainbow is formed. What is the reason for the formation of rainbow? So you not only write it is only due to the dispersion of light, actually the three combined effects takes place. One is refraction, second one is total internal reflection, and the next is dispersion. Okay. Is it clear to you? Today we were discussing about dispersion, spectrum, and what is the reason behind the prism, and one of the practical application of this dispersion. So the practical application of dispersion is nothing, it is the formation of rainbow, and the rainbow is formed due to a combined effect of refraction, reflection, total internal reflection, and dispersion. So okay, so we can wind up this today's class. See you in the next class. Thank you and good day. Okay, bye. Thank you all.